What's up, everybody? Like the title suggests, Madolche profile. Now, I have a bit of a cold, so if I stutter a little bit, don't blame me. Okay, let's get into it. Basically, you want to start off with only one Madolche putting cess. Now, the problem is with this deck that I see is if you have Madolche monsters in the graveyard, technically you're not going to really get too much of their effects off. Well, you will, but it's going to be detrimental to your combos. But anyways, if there's no Madolches in the graveyard, technically this card gains 800 attack points. Next, 3 Petting Cessor. Don't know why they called this card that, but basically it's your starter combo. It's everything you really need to make the deck, for the most part, competitive. I'm really glad we got this. Don't play anything less than 3. Believe me, you have everything to benefit from this card. Now, technically, okay, a lot of the Madolches you don't really have to play much of, like 3 of Magic Lion or Hootcake or Messengelada, but for me, I always played 3 of this and never really found any reason why not to. And basically, when the card's normal summon, you can add a Madolche from your deck to your hand. Next, Triple Angeli. I never cut this for anything. I always played 3 of this ever since I got my hands from, I think it was like Primal Origins. But anyways, the cards on the field, you contribute it, special summon Madolche from your deck. So I can't really justify any more than playing 2 Messengelado. Basically, when the card special summon, you can add a Madolche spell, trap card, I believe, from your deck to your hand. And I don't really want to play 3. You never really want to play 3 of this. Don't play 3 of Hootcake either. This is just basically the best ratio for me. If you had to cut anything, maybe 1 Magiline, but that's it. But anyways, here's something interesting. 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Now, I'm not really playing this specifically for the hand trap effect. If you have E-Telly, you can special summon this card from your deck. It's a neat little fast way of actually getting this card in the field, and there are synchro cards that you're going to want to play in this deck. It'll definitely help you out. Now, here's something else that's interesting. The Rock Spirit. There's going to be times where you're going to have monster cards inside the graveyard, and because Madolche, for the most part, almost every monster card in this deck is Earth. If you make a mistake, you can always banish that card and special summon this, and you know, it's practically a forgiving way to actually special summon a card. And if you make a mistake, believe me, you're going to want to have this card. There are other cards that you can utilize, pretty much the same effect, but I wanted this guy because he has 1700 attack. Anyways, 2 Dino Wrestler Pancratops or whatever. I wanted to play a 3rd one, but I didn't really have that much of a room. And in this type of deck, you really don't want to play anything more than like 40 cards. Now here's something. Now more hand traps. Ash Blossom, Joy Spring. I'm really glad they made reprints of this. I'm really glad I got this back. I had this card before, and some piece of garbage stole it from me. So technically, if you steal from Yu-Gi-Oh, ask yourself why bother. You can always afford this stuff on your own. But that's pretty much it for the monster lineup. If you steal from your Yu-Gi-Oh, you're scum. Bottom line. Madolche, Chateau, and Ticket. You don't want to play anything more than this. 1 of each. I've been experimenting for this for like a few years, like going back between 1 of each, or 2 of each, or 1 of one and 2 of another. But nah, this is all you need. Now, if these cards get banished for whatever reason, your opponent just banishes the cards, then you're gonna have a little bit of a problem. But next, 1 Raigeki for destruction, 1 Scapegoat, because, well, let's face it, Link summoning with a Scapegoat, come on, it's practically a free Link. That's why I kind of got hit. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 emergency teleport for your Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits, you can special summon it. 1 instant fusion, because you do have a fusion in the extra deck, Mud Dragon. You could use another level 4 if you want. But like I said, it's practically a free special summon. Now, here's something interesting. Pot of Desires. I'm thinking about cutting this because there are instances, like, let's face it, you need the draw power. You have to have it. But there are some instances where this card can be detrimental, and just want to bring awareness to you. I don't really want to play a 3rd. If you banish too many of your, like if this is later on, like maybe after the 3rd or 4th turn or whatever, and you banish cards that you need, then you're in trouble. But yeah, I need this. I'm thinking about cutting it, but don't know yet. Now, I play 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. I don't play Twin Twisters in the deck, solely for the fact is if you have only Madolche monsters in your hand and you have to pay the cost for Twin Twisters, then it's going to hurt you. And if you don't have the that Rock Warrior or whatever, then technically, yeah, it's basically a big mistake. You don't want to play Twin Twisters in this deck. Or at least, yeah. Anyways, Sorry. 3 Drowning Mirror Force. I wanted to play Infinite Permanence. Again, alas, you know the result. They're fucking stolen from me. But anyways, if you don't really have Infinite Impermanence, this is a good way to side this out, and it pretty much is, you have everything to benefit from it. It'll save you, and there's been lots of times where even if I didn't have an Impermanence, this card technically saved the day. Last 3 cards for the deck is Solemn Strike, so it can protect you. You really should play some kind of trap engine in this deck. You need something to protect you. Madolche is not the strongest deck in the world. Sure, you can argue putting says Chocolate a la mode or whatever is a strong beat stick, but no. You need trap cards. You need to protect your Madolche cards, because there's still quite a few decks out there that can pretty much hurt the deck very badly. Moving on to the extra deck, I want to facilitate this point. I don't have a side deck for you. I'm sorry. You'll have to do that on your own if you really matters to you, Aldemench. Anyways, 2 Tiramisu, probably the best Xyz card in the entire game, or at least in my opinion, because I play this deck. I have a high regard for it. I wanted to play a third. I couldn't. I didn't have the room. 2 putting such Chocolate a la mode or whatever. Basically, it's your powerhouse for the Madolches. Gets you what you really need. I don't want to play 3 of each. Originally I did, but this build I can't justify it. 2 Teacher again. Kind of surprised though. I really wish the card would be have a lot more attack points. Sorry. Now there are times because you will need the power, and this is provided, an excellent resource for me. Since the time I've been playing this Utopia package, you will need the 5,000 attack certain times. Especially if your opponent, whips out like maybe a Blue Eyes deck, and then you have to face a 4,000 beat stick. Last XC, basically Levier. So if you want to special summon monsters that you banished, you really should have a card like this to actually help you out. And if you don't want to, then maybe no. Play the card. Believe me, it's going to help you out. You have everything to benefit. That's it for the XCs. 2 Fresh Sistart. It's not the best Madolche card in the world, but it definitely will help you, and it's a link card, so you want to be able to get as much Madolche's XC cards in the field as possible. Now, here's something interesting. Because I play Scapegoat, it's kind of ironic, or Low Dragon. You do need the power, and you should play this card. If you don't want to, it's fine. You can side it up for whatever the hell you want. But it's helped me out numerous times, and there's been instances where I just summoned Scapegoat, and especially summon this guy, just totally easy. Totally surprised my opponent. 1 Liquorable, you want to be able to protect your cards in case if you don't really have you don't have the cost that you can pay for the Warlord or the Fresh Start. Your Mud Dragon for your instant fusion, and Clearwing Fast Dragon. Now the reason why I play this card, of course you can't play a Crystal Wing. It's not really for the deck. It basically decreases your monster's attack, and I think it stops their effects. And it's a fast synchro card to get on the field, and plus, so choosingly, another reason why I actually have another Ghost Ogre is because if this card is get destroyed, you can put it in a Pendulum Zone. Because you don't play too much trap cards, it's not going to conflict, and you can always special summon it if you have another Ghost Ogre. That's why I play a second Ghost Ogre. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I will be making a future update pretty soon. So yeah, goodbye.